The weight of the skull in males is heavier and in females is lighter. The size is larger in males and smaller in females. The capacity is greater in males and it is 10% less than that of males in females. The walls of the skull are thicker in males and thinner in females. Muscular ridges, glabella, superciliary arches, temporal lines, mastoid processes, superior nuchal lines, and external occipital protuberance are more marked in males and less marked in females. The supraorbital margin is more rounded in males while it is sharp in females. The forehead is sloping or receding in males. It is vertical in females. Frontal and parietal tuberosity are less prominent in males, whereas they are more prominent in females. The vault of the skull is rounded in males, and it is somewhat flattened in females. Contour of the face. In males, it is longer due to greater depth of the jaws. The chin is bigger and projects more forwards. In general, the skull is more rugged due to the muscular markings and processes, and the zygomatic bones are more massive. In females, the facial bones are somewhat smoother, and mandible and maxillae are smaller.
The Academy Awards, or as it's known at my house, Passover.
James Cagney and Yankee. Gary Cooper presenting the Best Performance Award to Bing Crosby.
Bing? Yeah, Gary. I wish you could see Lucille Ball, magnificent in a white gown. 1949, when Jimmy Stewart was married, every Bobby Soxer was married. And so for the second time, Olivia de Havilland walks up to the splendor. It's a big night for Bogey and Baby and little Stephanie.
The wedding of two great entertainment mediums with motion pictures and television. And with Oscar 25 years old, it's high time.
In New York, the winner is On the Waterfront. The
wouldn't give a duck for anything in the world.
I guess all I can do is say thank you.
Now, the winner is Gregory Peck.
It is a long journey to this moment.
I think, though, that half of this belongs to a horse.
Hello, gorgeous.
George C. Scott.
I think it is one hell of an honor, and I am thrilled. This is my agent who, about 10 years ago, advised me that I had no business being an actor. Thank you.
I'm very honored to have been nominated with actresses like Jane Fonda and Shirley MacLaine and Anne May.
Martin, how did this happen?
As you can see, I did receive my Academy booklet on how to dress like a serious actress.
The winner is Robert De Niro, Rachel.
You like me right now.
I feel as though I'm standing on magic legs.
Everybody involved with the movie!
God, I know we're forgetting something.
Whoever we forgot, we love you.
Life is beautiful, Roberto Benigni.
King of the world!
Are you ready?
Please welcome the very beautiful Cameron Diaz.
Ever since the jazz singer amazed audiences by how characters speak, movies have realized the power of sound. What seems simple, the natural lover's whisper, a train screaming by, the music which sets the mood of a scene. All these diverse elements must be woven together to create the extraordinary power of a movie's sound.
Would be waiting for me, where the crowds will cheer when they see my face in a voice.
And now for the final 3 nominations for Best Achievement in Music, Original Song. Just as the songs represent a contrast in styles, so do the films from which they come.
My friend, the director of Titanic, James Cameron, and I have made 3 movies together. The Terminator, Terminator 2, and True Lies.
Tonight we will present a small sampling from each of the 5 nominated scores in the form of a choreographed medley.
Things are rarely what they appear to be.
And the Oscar goes to David Leroy Anderson and Rick Baker for Men in Black.
Film editors, the people who put it all together. When you make a movie and the director says, that's a wrap at the end of the day's shooting, the film is rushed to the lab for processing. Then it comes back to the editors.
That's right, and they look at it first thing in the morning. That explains why most film editors are grouchy all day long. There go all my future close-ups.
Donald, this year all the actresses in this category share a common experience.
And not only the anxiety, the hope, and the pride inherent in having been nominated for an Academy Award, but
Also, the anxiety, the pride, and the hope inherent in having been nominated for the very first time.
the nominees for the Best Actress in a Supporting Role are...
As Johnny told you, tonight's telecast of the Academy Awards is being beamed to an audience of over 300 million people from 65 countries throughout the world.
And in the spirit of friendship that exists in the movie industry, Alan thought that it might be appropriate at this time to greet all our movie-going friends.
Good evening to my fellow Americans eagerly awaiting the presentation of the 53rd Annual Academy Awards. It's surely no state secret that Nancy and I share your interest in the results of this year's balloting. We're not alone. The miracle of American technology links us with millions of moviegoers around the world. It's the motion picture that shows us all.
song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just like the white-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, said ooh. Just like the white-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, said ooh. Just like the white-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Said ooh, baby, ooh, said ooh. And down. Make your booty touch the ground. I can't help but wonder why I'm alive to the vibrations for the past. Shake my jelly at every chance when I whip on my hips. She slipped into my
I would like you to meet four fascinating women. We've just been talking while you were away in commercial. I would like you to meet the members of Destiny's Child. This is Latavia, and this is Beyonce. Beyonce. And this is Kelly, and this is LaToya. Wow. These are four young women who are, just to give you an idea of what their life is like, this is what I learned in the commercial. When they were in Europe, they do a lot of traveling. We don't know how many miles per year, but one day in Europe, they did 3 shows in one day. They are all going to school. They're all in grade 11. Their tutor travels with them. They do schooling every day, like you got to do in 3 hours, but most people do in 8 hours of school. And your mom is the chaperone. Because I said, men, boys to men, parties, good times. I said, men, boys to men, parties, good times. You wish.
Hard work.
Yeah, so it's hard, huh? A lot of hard work here?
Lots of hard work.
Yes, before we were just looking, at the people on TV, and we were just looking at all the glamour, and we didn't understand. It's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Some people think you just go in the studio, make a song, and then
they think it takes like 5 minutes to do a song, and you come out and it just starts playing on the radio.
Right. But it took us. We've been doing this since we were like 9 and 10 years old.
Right.
And it's been a long process and a long time coming that they're like, oh, well, you guys are never coming out and all this other stuff. We've heard a lot of like negative stuff, but we've always kept our head up and asked God to just lead us in this venture that we're going through, and hopefully we'll be blessed.
Now, you must have got this figured out because all 4 of you are going to college, and you are going to study
sound engineering and business.
Looking for a double major here?
Yes.
I'm gonna try.
Business?
Business and film.
Business and film?
Business.
Now, why is everybody studying business here? What is the common why?
We want to own a record company one day.
Ah.
Destiny's Child, Inc.
I see. Now, the phrase Destiny's Child was taken from something in the Bible. What does it say in the Bible about Destiny's Child?
It doesn't actually say anything about Destiny's Child, but one day Beyonce's mom was reading the Bible, and when she opened up to her scripture, which was Isaiah, our picture fell out. And under the picture in boldface print was the word Destiny. And at the time, we were looking for a name.
Right.
So we were like, we're destined to be together. We have to have this name. But we found out that a lot of groups had that name.
Destiny, right?
Yeah,
so,
and we didn't want to go through any, legal stuff, so we added Child, which is like a rebirth of Destiny.
Got it.
Destiny had a child, and we the cheering.
You've been through so much for 16. You're very wise women at the age of 16. You've worked together since you were 9. You're enjoying incredible international success. You kind of got your futures figured out. So tell me, if we were going to be sitting down, okay, it's 10 years, okay? We flip forward, 10 years. Yeah. I'm still doing television. God knows why. Because I love it truly. And I'm interviewing you. So tell me what you're doing at 26. What's happening in your life now? I haven't seen you for 10 years, girls. So what's happening now? You are?
We now own our record company.
Yeah.
We have some artists.
Right, we have a lot of artists under our belt. And Kelly has directed an extreme amount of videos now.
Right.
LaToya is designing for everyone.
Clothing design.
Yes.
And yours?
I'm producing and writing. Beyonce's running the record company.
And producing
and writing also.
Now, we've all talked about work. Now, let's talk about...
I'm married now.
Oh, I'm engaged. You're what?
I'm engaged.
You're engaged.
Yeah. I'm married to my work.
You're married to your work. You're not married to...
Until the right guy comes along.
He hasn't come along yet, 10 years. Okay, well...
Beyonce married with 4 kids. Yeah, I'm married with 12 kids.
You want a large family? That's what you want?
Oh, yeah, not 12.
No.
I want 2.
You want a couple kids?
I want 2.
I want a boy first.
I want a boy too. I want a boy and a girl. I want to have one, and I want to adopt one.
Okay. Why a boy first?
So the big brother can like watch after the girl, make sure the other boys.
Oh, I see. Do we all have big brothers here that looked out for us?
None of us. I got little brothers. I have a big brother in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I have nothing. It's just me.
I got little brothers.
She has 3 sisters.
But we watch out for each other. So even if a boy did try to like,
we're the big brothers, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. Mess with one, you mess with all of us.
Yeah, right.
Okay. It has been such a pleasure to meet you, and I hope it's a lot shorter than 10 years before we sit down and do this again. I'm hoping just another year goes by, okay? And you'll check in.
Definitely.
Take care of each other, okay?
Thank you.
This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.
Yes, this side of the album is I Am. Yes. And people, I think, are a little more familiar with my stage persona when they see Crazy in Love videos and they see videos like put a ring on it. Yeah. And I wanted to reveal more of who I am. And songs like Boy and Halo and the songs that are more personal. Yeah. And I wanted to reveal more of who I am. And songs like Boy and Halo and the songs that are more personal and more intimate and vulnerable are
the ballads.
The ballads.
Yes.
And then I have Sasha Fierce for the fans.
Sasha Fierce.
You see, we draw drawings of each other. Brian is the famous artist, and we always make fun of each other and portray each other in silly, satirical ways.
Leo's job on this set, for some reason, is to make fun of me all day long. Leo, as you know, is the latest, hottest, hunkiest teen idol there is.
Yeah, muscles.
Look, speaking of hunky, huh?
I was absolutely a boy for about 2 years of my childhood. And
really?
Just playing around, you know, self-taught, so.
Yeah. Some of my friends call me Charlie. Some of my friends call me Chuck.
My mom said to me, you know, sweetheart, one day you should settle down and marry a rich man. And I said, Mom, I am a rich man. You know, my mother's waiting for me to grow old and settle down and marry a rich man.
I thought in your case it'd be the other way around. You know, lots of poor guys want to marry you.
No, my mother said, Cheryl, when you get older, I wish you'd hurry and get older so that you would settle down and marry a rich man. And I said, Mom, I am a rich man. You know, it's like I don't have to marry one.
Most of all, Admiral Mullen, Deborah, Michael and I also want to acknowledge your son Jack, who's deployed today. All of you have performed extraordinary service to our country.
You know, there also is this strange rumor that you're part man, part woman. You've heard that rumor?
Yeah.
True?
Certainly. Certainly.
This is the future.
Brace.
Human error. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.
boy. Come here, Courage. There you are. See, this is Courage, and he's going to pull me through. Okay, Courage. Okay. Pull me, Courage. Pull. Pull. You want to be...
I really am sad that I took my voice for granted. Like, I didn't just take it for granted, I hated it. Like, and now, like, I would do anything to have that voice again.
Now it's your turn to teach me.
Oh, yeah.
What's so funny, Daisy?
Come back out with me later, okay? Say hi, Mom. Our goal here is to offer gender-affirming therapy.
There is a substantial body of research that shows these treatments
Treatment
work.
for gender dysphoria is proven to be life-saving medical care.
It really comes down to how uncomfortable with their body parts.
Deciding to permanently alter the body.
And do they want to change those body parts?
What do their doctors
Who's
know?
there for their detransitioning? Nobody.
Enough children have already been victimized by this barbaric pseudoscience.
Ridiculous.
My childhood was ruined. This needs to stop.
We have a serious problem.
I had an alter ego, and he was like this boy that I like customized in my mind of like the ideal boy. Other girls looked so different than I did. They were, you know, expressing themselves very differently.
Hey guys, so for today...
I was depressed, hopeless, and I was feeling pretty dejected and scared and alone. I didn't like life. Like, I just wanted to stay in my room all day. As you spiral into depression, it really feels like you're in a hole that is so infinitely deep, and the depression just was really debilitating in that I didn't really care about
Self-worth is not a real thing.
improving myself because I already felt like I was just like I shouldn't have been born. Just having really like dark thoughts. I always just felt very much like there was just something wrong with me. And I was trying to figure it out. And I used the internet to help me do that. That's where I felt like I could diagnose myself. My favorite websites were YouTube and Tumblr.
I really love this whole...
It's such a huge amount of content that I consumed at that time. I mean, I watched a lot of trans people. I watched a lot of, you know, gender transformation videos and saw these people really just like go from female to male visually. Like they looked like men. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even know that it was possible for a woman to pass as a man that well. It's really dark when you think about it because the people who are consuming this are children, like 13, 14, 15 years old. And it's so easy for them to literally be groomed. I just started looking into all of it. I was like, oh, so there's genderqueer, gender fluid, there's agender, there's like, you can be a demi-girl, which is when you're like 90% girl, 10% not girl. Like, there's just an infinite amount of ways that you can interpret and express your own gender identity, and your gender identity is who you are, and nobody gets to take that away from you. So hearing that, I just became very, very interested in having a male persona. The more time I spent online, the more it felt like real life, and the more real it felt, which eventually led to me just fully transitioning. So I came out to my parents as Ollie, and, you know, I went to this, I guess, behavioral mental health clinic for like 6 days. They had a meeting with my parents, and they basically told my parents that if you don't validate Oliver, if you don't validate him, then this is just gonna get worse. The best thing that you can do to help him is to accept him as your son. But I already felt like I wasn't what my mom had expected, and for me, transitioning was the closest I could come to killing myself without actually doing it. With all of these mental struggles that I was having, not knowing how to make sense of it on my own, And consuming so much of the trans narrative
and just loving life.
Hearing people say this made me so much happier. This alleviated my pain. I wanted to alleviate my pain. I also didn't want to be who I was. So with transitioning, I could do both of those things. I could alleviate my pain and I can become someone else. I wanted to escape my own identity as Daisy.
My name is Ali Chadra, and this is my voice one day before testosterone.
That was really the beginning. I wasn't just playing around anymore. I wasn't just playing dress up anymore. Like, I was actually going to become a trans man and live my life that way.
My name is Ali Chadra. This is my voice pre-T. My name is Ali Chadra, and this is my voice 1 month on T.
2 days ago was my official 3 months on testosterone. This is my voice 4 months on T. It's probably not really a good thing that I was able to get my hormones so easily. I mean, anyone can go in there. Not only did they send me home with the hormones, but I actually did my very first shot right there in the doctor's office. And I was just euphoric, and it was real. And I was actually going to start seeing changes, and I was going to start passing, which basically meant that everyone around me was going to see me as a boy, an actual boy. This feels good. This makes me happy. I'm actually feeling the feelings that, you know, all those like trans people online were saying that they felt.
I just want to say that I'm literally so happy with my chest. It's so much better than I thought it would be.
Seemingly out of nowhere, we've suddenly seen a huge spike in media depictions and social media depictions of transgenderism. It's even reached the mainstream advertising world. And I think this is all coming to a head and what this really means for our society. In cases like the case of Layla Jane, a young girl whose breasts were removed at age 13 by doctors who fed her a lie.
Take this next case. Layla Jane was born a girl.
Layla Jane experienced a host of medical issues in her youth. Her mother, who is bipolar, expressed to these physicians and therapists that her daughter might be bipolar, but she actually never received any diagnosis or treatment for that. The family went to one physician who, after less than a 2-hour appointment, green-lighted the hormone therapy, and in a similarly or even shorter period of time, a plastic surgeon signed off after one visit on removing her breasts. Like most young women who go down this path of identifying transgenderism as the solution to their problems, reinforced by irresponsible medical care providers, it's likely that if physicians had properly diagnosed all of the issues present in Layla Jane as a child, she would never have gone down this path.
When parents of trans-identified kids are referred to specialized gender clinics, they're often told that they're going to get comprehensive, multidisciplinary mental health assessments. We know that that's not true. In practice, these kids were put on a fast track to medical transition.
Layla is now 18 and is fighting back, so this does not happen to anyone else.
My name is Prisha Mosley. I was a 15-year-old girl when the trans community found me. Already diagnosed with multiple mental illnesses, including anorexia, a body dysmorphic disorder, and borderline personality disorder, a trauma disorder, I was easy to manipulate and convince that I had been born in the wrong body. I was told that this was the reason for all of my mental and emotional distress.
The gender specialist I was taken to see told my parents that I needed to be put on puberty blocking drugs right away. They asked my parents a simple question: would you rather have a dead daughter or a living transgender son? This is the moment that we all became victims of so-called gender-affirming care.
But is this the document we're talking about? You needed this letter signed by a therapist to open up the door for you to get these medical treatment. Is this the document that we're talking about earlier?
Yes, it is.
And it took you how long to get this?
30 minutes.
The ideology that has become dominant at these clinics is that trans kids know who they are, and therefore to question them, to ask basic therapeutic questions like, could your gender dysphoria or gender identity have been triggered by some other event in your life? Basic questions of screening are completely taboo in these circles. But the truth is that parents don't have much of a choice in the matter. And doctors are telling parents in front of their distressed children, if you don't consent to the use of puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones, your child is going to die by suicide. I believe that most doctors who practice gender-affirming medicine,
Gender dysphoria.
they genuinely, sincerely believe that they're doing good, but they're not.
Finland, Sweden, France, Norway, and the UK are reversing course and asking questions.
Have all not found enough medical evidence, psychological evidence, to support transgender therapy.
In the UK, their only national gender clinic for children shut down last year by court order. What do their doctors know that our doctors don't?
Part of the problem is that the current cohort of teenagers that are being transitioned under the affirmative protocol, which lacks guardrails, which takes kids at their word when they say I'm trans, which doesn't do proper mental health assessments. In fact, double mastectomies on teenage girls went up 13-fold between 2013 and 2020. Between 2016 and 2019 alone, these procedures went up by 500%. A study published in 2022 by researchers who are advocates of gender-affirming surgeries showed that the youngest patient to have received a radical bilateral mastectomy in the United States is 12 years old. These kids are going to grow up and they're going to start to feel the full effects of their medical decisions. They're going to start to feel the side effects. If you really want to know whether amputating the breasts of a 12 or 13-year-old girl is ultimately in her best long-term interests, ask her when she's 30 or 40 and unable to breastfeed her own child.
I would go out into the world, and everyone's calling me Ollie. Everyone sees me as a guy. But then, at the end of the day, when I'm home, in my room, looking in the mirror, I'm like, what did I do? Like, I start getting these, like, really scary thoughts of, like, you're incomplete. You're not a guy. You never will be. But even though you're legally, your driver's license says you're a guy, you know you're not. You finally have expressed your true inner self or whatever, the thing that you wanted to do so badly ever since you were like 13, 14 years old. You did this thing to alleviate this gender dysphoria, that wasn't there before, but you made it into a problem, and now your body image issues are worse. That's not supposed to happen. What do we do now?
I just woke up one day, looked at myself in the mirror, and asked myself, what the heck am I doing? As I realized, no matter if I would have gotten every surgery, continue with hormones, I realized I would have never been a woman. At best, I would have been a caricature of what I believed a woman was. Nobody would help me because they had more concerns of me reversing everything. I just socially detransitioned, got the implants removed. So I had technically developed gynecomastia. My chest is not like it used to be, and it never will. I have scarring, numbness, and unfortunately, my nipples are completely different, to put it lightly. It has been taking a major toll on me since I realized what I've done.
I was almost 5 years on testosterone. So if I had gone further, I wouldn't have been able to go back. When I found out I was pregnant, I was just over the moon. I mean, I was scared I was gonna have a doctor tell me that, like, sorry, you're infertile, and it would have been my fault. There are so many young people who are going through very similar things that I did and are still being told that transition will save them, and it's just not true. My story is tragic in some ways, but it's very redemptive in many ways. That cannot be said for many detransitioners. And that's just heartbreaking. Like, I can't imagine living with that. Like, I can't imagine what it would be like to regret a bottom surgery, or, you know, to be infertile because when you were a little child, like 12, your, you know, parents were manipulated into putting you, like, blocking your puberty.
Being so young, I was so impressionable. I was told so many times, it's possible that you're trans, it's possible that you're trans, that eventually I started to believe it.
Unfortunately, transition made things worse for me.
It has just kind of wrecked my perception of myself, and I feel like I missed out on like 3 years of my life. I missed out on 3 years of living my teenage girlhood.
I didn't realize that there were women like me who were different.
So, here's the deal. I'm detransitioning. It's true, it's not a joke.
I understand now that I can be a cis woman again. I haven't gone too far. I haven't passed the point of no return. I can live as a woman again.
I was something because people were reacting to me, but it was a me that wasn't really me, so I was protected. I was protecting myself with the trans label.
These pediatric clinics that perform these surgeries, they will do nothing to help these teens if they decide to detransition. There's nothing you can do. You know, once you've taken all those hormones, Billy, your body is changed beyond repair.
You don't have to remove your body parts to make you complete. When I transitioned, my suicidal ideation did not go away.
Transition is not the only answer, and there are many detransitioners like me out there.
My name is Camille Kiefel.
My name is Emily.
My name is Laura Becker.
My name is Abel Garcia, and I am a detransitioner.
My name is Daisy, and I am a woman.
On the surface, Scott and Renee Jennings and their 4 children are a typical American family. They could be your neighbors. Their youngest, we'll call her Jazz, is a 6-year-old who has been living with a secret until now.
Your child was born a boy, and now you call him a girl. Yes?
Yes.
Jazz is transgender and one of the youngest documented cases of an early transition from male to female.
This baby came out and basically said, this is who I am, I'm a girl.
I miss you. From the moment he could speak, Jazz made it clear he wanted to wear a dress. Say hello! At only 15 months, he would unsnap his onesies to make it look like a dress.
If you said to Jazz, good boy, what would the reaction be?
Always, no, Mommy, good girl.
What did you think, Scott?
I think initially I was in a bit of denial.
What was the first time that you had any inkling that this little boy, Jazz, was different?
The day she came up to me, and I'll never forget it, Barbara, she said, Mommy, when's the good fairy gonna come with her magic wand and change, you know, my genitalia?
How old was Jazz then?
2.
At 2, Jazz came to you and said, when is a good fairy going to, I guess, take off my penis, is
right,
what she was
and
telling
make it into a vagina. Yes.
What did you feel?
Just numb, frozen.
They wanted to believe it would pass. After all, even their rowdy twin boys had painted their nails growing up. But Jazz kept gravitating to girl things, insisting that his penis was a mistake. When Renee opened this manual, used by mental health experts, she was shocked. Under gender identity disorder, Jazz met all 4 criteria for a diagnosis, including fantasizing about being the opposite sex. He was only 3, and even their pediatrician told them they had a serious problem.
She said, yes, I believe your child has gender identity disorder, and I recommend you go to a professional. My mouth opened up, and you literally had to scrape me off the floor.
You are certain, doctor, that Jazz is a girl?
I can't say biologically
chromosomally, hormonally, but yes, very clearly, gender identity, female.
To confirm the diagnosis, the Jennings brought Jazz to Dr. Marilyn Volker, a therapist who specializes in sex and gender issues. How did you know that she was a transgendered child?
When we began to talk, and I used, whoops, the pronoun he, I was corrected. I'm a girl. I'm she.
Then Dr. Volker brought out anatomically correct male and female dolls.
I ask, and which are you like? Which is like your body? Jazz looks, and she says, this is me now. This is what I want.
In their home, they came to accept Jazz as a girl. There, he could wear a dress or dance as a ballerina. But in public, they kept his look more ambiguous or gender neutral, especially at preschool.
But this child wouldn't give up, was not happy until she could express herself indoors and outdoors.
Every day became a struggle. The preschool allowed Jazz to put on a pretty top, but he had to wear pants. Officially, Jazz remained a boy.
Hi, cutie. You gonna show me how you dance?
When Jazz was 4.5, there was a dance recital. It was a disaster.
Disaster. She wasn't allowed to wear a tutu like the rest of the girls. And she just kind of stood there and snapped her finger and, you know, did tapping thing with the toe and just looked so sad. It was heartbreaking to watch, really heartbreaking.
The dance recital was a turning point. The Jennings then made the most difficult decision of their lives to let their son become their daughter.
Happy birthday.
On his 5th birthday, Jazz wore a one-piece bathing suit. He was now she, and an innocent pool party became a coming out.
That was the first time in front of everybody, she, along with our consent, announced to the world that she was a girl.
Did Jazz's friends think she was a boy or a girl?
They referred to her as a boy, but kids are very accepting at that age. They believe what you tell them. She's a boy, but she wants to be a girl, so we let her wear a bathing suit.
And the bathing suit did not show a bulge?
Yeah, it did.
But that didn't matter?
Well, all the kids knew she was a biological boy.
But the Jennings soon found that while they accepted Jazz as a girl, others questioned their decision.
Who loves you? Well, you do.
I always say that I'm in the front line. Jazz is protected because she's not getting the slack, because I'm putting out the fires before they burn her.
Is that why you're doing this interview? So that people will understand?
I want to pave the way for a better life for her and any trans kids. They didn't ask to be born this way.
Renee and I are in 100% agreement as to how we should raise Jazz. We don't encourage, we support, and we just keep listening to what she tells us.
This child will come into my bedroom in the middle of the night. Mommy, I had a bad dream that I had a beard and a mustache like Daddy, and I don't ever want to have a beard or a mustache. And I said, honey, don't you worry. Mommy will make sure that you'll never have a beard or a mustache.
How does a 5-year-old biological boy begin living full-time as a girl? For Jazz, it meant growing her hair out, piercing her ears, and wearing dresses everywhere.
How do you feel about going to kindergarten today?
Even to kindergarten.
We felt that it would be a good time for her to come out of the closet because she's starting a new school, doesn't know anybody, and this is a perfect opportunity for her to switch the pronoun.
Yep, follow Mama.
At school, Jazz is registered as a boy. Her teachers know she's biologically male, but most of her classmates don't. She's lucky because there's a unisex bathroom, and in sports, unisex teams. But even play dates are an issue.
Do you know how to play this game?
Can Jazz have sleepovers at other friends' houses?
I don't want to send Jazz over to anybody's house unless they know the truth. Nor will I let a child walk into our house and play with Jazz unless it's been explained to them.
Oh, how pretty. Jazz's bedroom is filled with girly things, dresses, dolls, and especially mermaids. That's a mermaid, right?
Right.
Here's another, lots of mermaids.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think Jazz was so attracted to mermaids?
All of the male to female, younger transgender children are obsessed with mermaids. And I believe it's because of the ambiguous genitalia. There's nothing below the waist but a tail. And how appealing is that for for somebody who doesn't like what's down there.
Why do you like mermaids?
Because they're different than us.
I see. How are they different?
Because they have tails.
So they're one thing on the top and something else on the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Your mommy says you're special. And you are very special. Very pretty. Do you think you're special?
Yeah.
Is there anything else in the room you want to show me?
That picture.
Shall I go get it? Okay. Tell me about this picture. Why is the little girl crying?
Because she wants to wear the dress to school.
And Mommy won't let her.
Yeah.
But now, does Mommy let the little girl wear a dress?
Mm-hmm.
Is the little girl you? Had you not done this, what do you think she would have been?
Very depressed. I think it would be a daily battle, and she would probably just be suffering. And what child should have to suffer?
How do you respond to people who look at Jazz and say, this is a little boy living as a little girl. How could you do this to your child?
I didn't do this to my child. This is the way my child was born. I'm not forcing anybody against their will to do anything. We check in with her all the time. I tell her, I say, Jazz, if you ever feel like you want to dress like a boy again, cut your hair, you just let me know. She goes, Mommy, why would I want to do that?
Just look how cute you were. Mommy loves
Renee,
you.
do you mourn the loss of a son?
I mourn the loss of the idea of my son.
I could just look at you all day. You're so cute.
But I do miss.
It's all right, tell me if you can.
Miss the boy.
You miss the boy, the baby boy you had.
I had to pack up all of her clothes, her boy clothes. And I see the pictures and the video. The child's gone. But there's a wonderful person now that's with us. Kiss, kiss. She always knows she's loved, always. And I tell her all the time, you know how much Mommy loves you. I just want you to be happy. It's just important for her to know that she has that I'm gonna be there for her always. She's like, Mommy, can I always live with you? I said, absolutely. And that's a security blanket for her to know that she has us no matter what.
I have been so reluctant to talk about Jazz Jennings because I genuinely feel very bad for Jazz. And I see the way she's handled by other kind of YouTubers and right-wing commentators, and I'm not exactly cool with the way she's handled and spoken about sometimes. Because Jazz is a victim, right? And try as people may to make me out to be the villain of the trans community, the Voldemort of the trans community, the bully, I have zero interest in attacking. Jazz came out as transgender at 2 years old. Because that makes sense, right? She had a full bottom surgery sex change at 17. You know, that thing that they say they're not doing to minors? That's a right-wing conspiracy. You put it on TV. So sex change at 17, came out at 2, puberty blockers at 11. Sorry, I'm all over the place. It's like, this is just, I don't like this story. I'm very triggered by what has happened to her and what's been done to her by her parents, by TLC, the television network, by these doctors, by these activists, by everyone.
Of a child born in the wrong body.
And I'm already having an issue. So the idea that before Jazz was able to even experience life, she was 2 when she came out, she was being told things like, you're in the wrong body. That's abuse.
A boy living as a girl.
A girl brain and boy body.
How old was Jazz there? 3? 4? Even in preschool? Yeah, because that was young. And to already have a camera in her face.
We'll say things like, God made you special, because there aren't very many little girls out there that have a penis.
Okay. So we are a minute in. I have already heard her mother, her toxic mother, talk about her genitals. I don't understand, but I could imagine the amount of layers that it would take for someone like Jazz to have to go through over probably the course of decades, really, to unpack and really get to that final destination of understanding that this is a very abusive situation. Because when this is what it is at two, most people don't even have memories of that age, right? Like that's, if it's not on camera, would she even remember her mother talking about her special penis? Look how young. And clearly just had a camera up in her face from the start. Probably pitching that reality show that they didn't get until she was around like 11 or 12, right? Probably already pitching it. Let's get Barbara Walters on deck. Let's get that money rolling in, right? We got to monetize. Even if we are to grant that this baby is genuinely experiencing gender dysphoria, let's go there, right? Let's go there. This baby was born with gender dysphoria, which, you know, I don't know if I was born with it, but I know it occurred at a very young age. So it's not necessarily beyond me fathoming that that's a possibility, right? Even if you believe that Jazz is a genuine example of a genuine trans person who would have genuinely ended up that way as an adult on her own volition, you definitely can't say with a straight face, looking me in my eyes, that she consented to all of this on camera, right? Because even if she's a genuine trans person and an example of someone who would have ended up genuinely being trans later in life, you definitely would agree that's probably a delicate process that deserves some privacy, no matter what age, right? So if this was a genuine journey, maybe you don't put the camera in the kid's face, right? Maybe don't throw the kid on TV, right? Maybe don't talk about the kid's genitals on TV.
A phase is called a phase because it is just that. It ends. And this is not ending. This is just getting stronger.
So how could it end? You started it at 2. The child's entire identity has been constructed around this thing now, right? That's what people don't really understand, that even the social transitioning of these extremely young children is very toxic because you are constructing an identity around it at that point rather than letting that child develop an identity without a reconstruction, right? You don't have to reconstruct a child's identity. You let them grow into it. Jazz had her identity reconstructed at 2. At 2, there was an end point, and now you are girl Jazz. And now we are putting you on TV. So now we're getting to the point in this video where we are now at age 17. Lots happened in between, but now we're at 17. Time to get that sex change. We've been filming you. You're on season like 8 of your reality show. It's time to get that sex change. We need that season finale. Jazz. Jazz's mom, Jazz's dad. Ratings are getting low. I'm really not trying to be funny. I know I talk sometimes a crazy way, but that's really what it is. They're filming her sex change in this scene, but it's botched.
Taking Jazz on as a patient for surgery, we knew it was going to be a one-of-a-kind surgery. She's one of the first to have undergone complete pubertal suppression and lack of growth of the skin and other tissues, which we rely on as surgeons to do this operation. And we don't have the experience of having said we've done 50 of these. I was just not expecting her to have a complication as severe as what she did have.
I'm happy. I have a good sense of what we need to do. Let me just take a picture, too. Poor thing, you could be a porn star for all the photos we've taken.
I wanted to know, will I lose any sort of sensation there, nerve endings, I don't know.
There is always a chance that there could be injury to the clitoris.
Yeah, that's what
I was just gonna ask
that's
about
the
that.
biggest thing I'm worried about. I feel like I've already lost the aesthetics, you know. Hopefully after this revision, it'll look good once it heals. But if I lose some of my sensation and nerve endings, I might never experience an orgasm.
I guess it's goodbye time.
Mm-hmm.
Until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow.
Okay.
The shining example of a childhood transition sex story has to have multiple surgeries to get it right because she's been botched. And if you know why she's botched, this is the reason. So to create a neo-vagina, to create a male to female sex change surgery, you have to have enough to start with to create that canal, right? Very graphic here, but stick with me. Basically, the length of your genitals, your penis, when you start, equals the length of the depth. So when you don't go through puberty because you were on blockers at 11, you don't develop anything down there, right? You never develop the ability to orgasm. And you don't develop enough genitals to turn into a different type of genital, right? If you can even consider that a genital that they're giving this baby. I personally kind of don't, right? Like I don't. And again, I don't like saying that when I'm talking about this victim because I feel bad, but that's my honest feeling. So, where exactly does this narrative come from that this path of puberty blockers before puberty, hormones early teens, and then sex change late teens, where exactly does this narrative come from that that's the proper path when their shining example couldn't get a proper sex change because of the puberty blockers, right? So puberty blockers are safe and reversible and essential for, the health of these transgender children, but they stopped her from getting this surgery that they built up over the course of 17 years of her life. Your parents sterilized you. It's like hard to even get this out because it's like really rough. Your parents deleted your natural human ability to engage in sexual intercourse and experience pleasure from it. And they did that before they even got rid of your genitals. See, that happened before they even got rid of the genitals. You never stood a chance. And that was your parents' decision. Because cosmetic surgeries happening to children, right, when they are minors, are the parents' decision. They filmed the botching taking place.
Why are you cutting there?
Right here?
Yeah, why?
Because it's scar, Jess. I don't like it.
Yeah, but there's scar everywhere. If you don't have to
Okay.
cut this, why would you cut that? We can just advance it to there.
Jess, let me go.
But it doesn't make any sense. Why do you need to cut that?
Because this is a disfiguring scar.
How do you know it's not a disfiguring scar? That's just a sulcus. These are the two labia. I mean, you may be right, but we don't know.
Jess,
why don't we just open this up and then see what this looks like?
Let me go, Jess. Let me go.
They're arguing about what to cut and what not to cut. They are getting in a genuine verbal altercation over what to cut and what not to cut. As if that shouldn't have been something figured out before you started cutting, right? She has had her entire life exploited and monetized. She's had an entire sex change exploited and monetized. I bet you the producers have made a lot more than Jax, right? Off all of his. This is sick. This is her second surgery, by the way. This is the one to fix the first botch. And they're in the second one, arguing about what to cut. But that's what they don't really tell you about bottom surgery for male to female or female to male, is that none of these surgeons really know what the fuck they're doing. That's Dr. Marcy Bowers. That the trans doctor, the trans woman doctor that was cutting up Jazz, she is one of the leading sex change surgeons on the planet. So maybe that can be a PSA to all parents out there. You're not doing the right thing. Removing your kids' genitals. Ever, really. But definitely not with any of these surgeons on screen. This scene is making headlines because they are now monetizing a new storyline where the mother is questioning if Jazz is asexual. Go figure. You sterilize your child, they might not have a sex drive.
Hey! Hello. I see you're drinking. Things are never good when she's drinking.
What's that supposed to mean? Fantastic when she's drinking.
No.
Why isn't it good?
You say random things.
No, you talk penis when you drink.
What?
I talk penis when I'm not drinking.
Right. There's a lot of penis talk.
I don't feel well. I'm having like heartburn, acid reflux problems right now.
Because your mom's talking about penises?
No.
We've been talking about you don't even have one. So why would we be talking about
I did have one at one point. That's really cool. I've had a penis and I've had a vagina. Not many people could say they've experienced both. Only a couple thousand people.
Yeah, so far.
So far. If we didn't define someone's life based on what's between their legs, things would be so much different.
Indeed. It's a weird kind of thing.
Thank you for the opportunity to address you. My name is Miriam Grossman. I am a board-certified child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist, author, and senior fellow at Do No Harm. I have been taking care of patients for 45 years. I'm going to use my time to respond to Dr. McNamara. First, I'm struck by her use of the phrase, sex assigned at birth. Sex is not assigned at birth. Sex is established at conception, and it's recognized at birth, if not earlier. Dr. McNamara claims that her views are science-based, but to claim that sex is assigned at birth is without any scientific basis whatsoever. Its language misleads people, especially children, into thinking that male and female are arbitrary designations and can change. That is simply not true. Dr. McNamara claims that social and medical interventions are the only evidence-based treatment and that scientific evidence shows it is life-saving. Without it, she's warning us, kids will commit suicide. Well, a growing number of countries have effectively banned the care to which she's referring. And thank God there's been no wave of suicides or other mental health catastrophes. 3 years ago, Finland placed strict limitations on medical interventions for minors. Sweden did the same thing after a 14-year-old girl was found to have osteoporosis and spinal fractures from puberty blockers. An investigation concluded, quote, the risks of anti-puberty and hormone treatment for those under 18 currently outweigh the possible benefits. The UK conducted a review and called the evidence very low. They've also placed severe restrictions on the care that Dr. McNamara calls life-saving. Norway also analyzed the data and has made similar changes in policy. The National Academy of Medicine in France warned, quote, great medical caution must be taken in children and adolescents given the vulnerability of this population and the many undesirable, even serious complications the therapies cause. Doctors in New Zealand and Australia have published similar statements. Is Dr. McNamara suggesting that all these countries are rejecting evidence-based treatment and placing their kids at risk of suicide? Regarding that point of view, Finland's gender expert, Dr. Rita Kaltiela, said, quote, it's purposeful disinformation, the spreading of which is irresponsible. All 7 countries, and Florida too, of course, concluded that kids don't need their development interrupted, the girls don't need their periods stopped and their voices lowered, and the boys don't need to grow breasts. What they need is psychotherapy. I have other objections to Dr. McNamara's testimony. She insists that her position, only hers, represents standard medical care. What she doesn't want you to know is that there is no standard. There's a debate. There's a fierce debate. And on the side opposite her stand such prominent figures as Stephen Levine, Kenneth Zucker, Paul McHugh, and James Cantor, among others. These doctors are giants in the field. They have been treating transgender patients and gathering data and publishing papers about them, and I mean no disrespect here, but since before Dr. McNamara was born. The point is that those veteran clinicians and others who have wisdom and experience are ignored because they disagree with the current narrative. They're against medical interventions for the same reason those 7 countries are. There is no evidence of long-term benefit, but there is evidence of harm. I'll end by quoting Jamie Reed, the courageous whistleblower from the Children's Gender Clinic in St. Louis, I believe that that hospital receives the medical education funding that we're discussing today. She said that doctors at that clinic said, "We are building the plane while we are flying it." We are building the plane while we are flying it. That's how they described the treatment at their gender clinic.
On T update. Hey, this is my 10 months on T video. I am 14 months and a week on T now. Hey, it's Jamie. I'm now 18 months on T. I am coming up to 22 months on T now. Hey, it's Jamie. I am now 2.5 years on T. I am around 3 years, 4 months on T now.
Hi, my name is Cam, and this is my voice 15 minutes on T. Hi, my name is Cam, and this is my voice 1 month on T.
Hi, my name is Cam, and this is my voice 5 months on T.
Hi, my name is Cam, and this is my voice 7 months on T.
Hi, my name is Cam, and I'm 1 year on T.
Hi, my name is Cole Foster, and this is my voice pre-T. Hi, my name is Cole Foster, and this is my voice 1 month on T.
Hi, my name is Cole Foster, and this is my voice 7 weeks on testosterone.
Hi, my name is Cole, and this is my voice 2 months on T. Hi, my name is Cole Foster, and this is my voice 14 weeks on T. Hi, my name is Cole Foster, and this is my voice 5 months on T. Hi, my name is Cole, and this is my voice 9 months on testosterone. Hi, my name is Cole, and this is my voice 11 months on testosterone. Hi, my name is Cole Foster, and this is my voice 1 year on testosterone.
Hello, my name is Koi, and this is my voice like an hour on testosterone. So yeah. My voice a month on T.
I'm 2 months on T. And I'm 3 months on T. 4 months in 2 days. I feel like I have COVID, but I don't. 7 months in a week, and I'm 7 months on T. I'm 8 months on T. I'm 9 months on T. I'm 10 months on T. I'm 11 months on T.
My name is Koi, and I'm 1 year on testosterone.
Hey, my name is Ace, and this is my voice 1 day on testosterone.
Hey, my name is Ace, and this is my voice 1 month on testosterone.
Hey, my name is Ace, and this is my voice 2 months on testosterone.
Hey, my name is Ace, and this is my voice 3 months on testosterone.
Hey, my name is Ace, and this is my voice 4 months on testosterone.
This is my voice 1 day on T. This is my voice 1 week on T. This is my voice 2 weeks on T. This is my voice 3 weeks on T. This is my voice 1 month on T. This is my voice 5 weeks on T. This is my voice 6 weeks on T. This is my voice 2 months on T. I skipped filming a couple of weeks because life, but I'm officially 2 months.
And this is my voice 3 months on T.
Hi, my name is Zidane Dismuke. I'm 19 years old and I live in Duarte, California. Originally was raised in Pasadena but moved here when I was the age 11. Modeling has always been a passion of mine. You know, growing up, I've always wanted to do that.
Yes, I know my voice has changed a very drastic amount. You don't have to tell me. I'm already cringing over here because I know what you guys are thinking. However, I just thought like I built the courage to come and show you guys how much my voice has changed.
I'm Ashley Adamson and I talk about transgender topics. Today we're talking about estrogen. It's the most lovely thing in my life that I take. It is an amazing thing. So one of the first things that happened to me when I started taking estrogen on the 3rd day, might I add, I started to notice that my emotions became a lot more tangible and a lot clearer to be able to reach and touch them, and crying suddenly became a thing. It's a way of expressing and kind of like processing these more complicated feelings that I could not reach when I was in a world of testosterone. Another thing that I noticed on estrogen is I was a lot more sensitive to people's presence, and especially women. I felt like women suddenly became a lot easier to connect with, like we were on some kind of estrogen energetic connection. I don't think many people talk about this, but there's some kind of estrogen connection that became really clear to me once I started taking estrogen. And then, of course, there's the physical changes, which are I grow little boobs. My fat like moves around in my face, and a lot of my fat moves to my butt and my hips, which is a great area to move it if you want to be more feminized. There is this rumor, and I'd say it just depends on your body, but a lot of people start to experience, trans women start to experience cycles. They start to actually experience having some kind of period cycle. For me, I've started to notice this, and I'm about 2 years in, a little bit more, over 2 years, but I'm starting to notice that I'm actually having dips in my month, and it's right around the moon cycle.